Hey everyone, I want to share my music haul with you today. Nice big box here. All CDs this time, no vinyl records. I bought these on Discogs from a store named Red Scroll, which is based in Connecticut, I believe. Let me start off with the CD that brought me to the store. This is Jelly Haha and her album Switcheroo. This is a new album from last year, and I found this album on my music shuffle. I think to recommend a starter song from this album to listen to would be probably Pluto is Not a Planet, It's a Restaurant is one of my favorite ones. Tiramisu is also really fun from this album. So that's what started it off. And then the other thing that I like to do when I am shopping on Discogs is usually shipping will jump up to $5 or $6 for a single item and then stay a flat rate as you add more CDs until you get past a certain number. So what I've done in the past is I'll find $1.50, $2 CDs to add to my order, and that doesn't increase the shipping costs, and I can pick up some new music to try out. So I did that for this order as well, and a bunch of the CDs in here are just kind of filler for my collection to try out. What I try to do when I do this method of ordering music is I like to at least kind of know what I'm getting myself into when I buy a random CD. So I'll pull it up on YouTube and try to listen to a couple songs off the album. And usually within the first couple of minutes of a song I can kind of tell whether it's something I'd like to own or not, especially for $1.50, $2. It's not a very high cost of entry. So Linoleum by Descent, there's 13 songs on here. Not familiar with the songs or the artist at all on this one. Here's one, Herbert. Ooh, for promotional use only. So this was a promo item that found its way into the wild. Excited for that. And this is 10cc Meanwhile. 10cc, of course, Not in Love is probably the one most people would know, which is on a different album, but big fan of this band and looking forward to listening to some of these. Looks like I might need to clean that one up a little bit. Hopefully most of these play. The listed conditions was good. Matt and Kim. Matt and Kim found while I was at Iowa State, and I think they also ended up doing a Buick commercial. Is probably where a lot of people have heard Matt and Kim. They probably don't know that it's Matt and Kim, but as soon as they heard the music from that commercial, they would recognize, probably hearing it before. So this is their album Almost Every Day. There's 10 songs on here. MGMT. This is probably their just their MGMT album, so the name matching the band there. What songs were on here that I liked? Actually, I don't think I know many of these songs off the top of my head, so it will be interesting to go through and listen to these. Some of these, like Matt and Kim, the one that I just did, also 10cc. I'm familiar with these bands, and I like their other music, but the albums that I've bought in this order mostly are songs that I've not heard before. So a little bit of exploration to do with bands that I'm already familiar with. Okay, here's one. Sam Riney. Never heard of him before I placed the order. There's 11 songs on here. 1991. So that would be another filler item. Probably $2.50 was about where most of these filler items were at. This is Moby. Moby, actually, I was talking to Josh, and Josh remembered that I had showed him a Moby song, and I hadn't remembered that it was Moby. So Moby's album, Everything is Beautiful and Nothing Hurt. So yeah, again, familiar with the artist. There's a different album of Moby's that I actually like quite a few songs from, but they did not have that album at the store, so I picked this one up. Dido, For Rent. Very good songs on here, actually. White Flag is track number 1, and that's probably a very common Dido song that people would have heard before. Wife for Rent, I also love that song. who else is in here. The other songs out of 11 on here, I kind of only know those two, so I'll have to give that very classic down-tempo album a listen. Hoobastank, I could not pass up Hoobastank because this album has The Reason, track number 8. And this is a 2003 release. Again, the album name is The Reason. My screen door is just slammed, so I'll have to go fix that in a little bit. And what else is on here? Escape, Let It Out, Disappeared. I think I only am familiar with The Reason from Hoobastank on this album. Fun song, fun album. Hiroshima. This was Japanese kind of jazz, and this album is called East. I actually have another Hiroshima album already. So I have Go, which is the other one that I have. This is 1989. I'm not sure if this was before or after the album that I already have. But there are 10 songs on here, and they look like a lot of fun. So we'll get into that one. Metope, or Metope, and Kobel as the album. This was a German producer. The album art caught my eye. I thought it looked pretty cool, so I pulled a couple of those songs up and listened. Sounded like it would be interesting music to try out. So 2005 release. I'm pretty sure this would be a smaller, maybe not indie, but yeah, just not going to be widely known there. And we have Club Dread, Majetic, 2018. Yeah. Again, just pulled up a song or two to listen to. Sounded interesting, so I figured I'd add it in. St. Lucia. And this is Win the Night. So St. Lucia, the other album that I have of theirs, has some amazing music on it, and I am looking forward to listening to this one. Release is 2013, so getting up there a little bit now. And we have Hot Chip, Why Makes Sense. This album, I have some of these songs spread throughout my my playlists, my music, but I don't think I've listened to the whole album all the way through yet. So I would have loved to have Hot Chip did a mashup of a Springsteen song and an LCD Sound System song. I think it was Dancing in the Dark, and then it went into All My Friends. And if you haven't listened to that and you haven't heard of Hot Chip, that is probably a good place to start and a lot of fun. And the album art for that cover, for that mashup, matches the CD, but I don't think it's on here unless it's a bonus track, in which case if it is not advertised. We'll be very happy if it is, but I'm not going to hold my hopes out for that. The rest of the songs on here I think will be very just fine without that cover. Cool artist, Hot Chip. Okay, we've got Temper Temper, and this is 91. No idea. Try them out. Here's Jan Letter, Passage to Freedom. Again, no idea at all. Peter Himmelman. I have another Peter Himmelman CD that I'm quite a fan of. So I saw this name and it seemed like it'd be a good one to add to the collection and try some of his other music. See how it goes. Natalie Imbruglia, White Lilies Island, 2001. So good to add that one in. Vacationer. Vacationer has been in my playlist for a long time. It's one of the early artists that I found when I was looking for music in college. Which would be Good As New. So Good As New is the song that I know from Vacationer already, and it's on this album. Gone. Indigo Girls, Swamp Ophelia. I am an Indigo Girls fan. I think Strange Fire is probably a very good song to start with if you have not heard Indigo Girls before. Not on this album, but some of the other ones that are on here I'm sure will be at that level as well. So excited to get some more Indigo Girls in the mix. And Patricia Marks, Respirar. This is actually a Spanish dance album. You can get a little bit of broaden broaden my music listening into some Spanish. Skip those for now. The Beths. This has Expert in a Dying Field as track number 1. Beautiful song from the Beths. This one was not one of the cheap albums. I did pay a little bit more for this just to have it in my collection. So I have not listened to the rest of the album. There is another Beths album at the store that I did not buy. This is Have a Very Merry Chrismukkah, the OC. So this is a compilation, various artists. It's got it's got some of the great, Christmas contemporary mix. Last Christmas by Jimmy Eat World is in here, and then there's a bunch of other random ones. But the one that caught my eye from this album was Liana Ness has a song called Christmas on here. Her other album, Coma, or Comatized, I believe, is the name of that album. Really big fan of that album, so I want to hear what her Christmas song sounds like, which is on this album. That's why I bought it. And we have Sunlit Youth. What is this? Ooh, there's a bit of thickness here, a little bit of something inside this. Okay, check that one out at some point. What's this one? Twin Atlantic. Oh, this is okay, so this is a sealed Twin Atlantic free album. The music that I pulled up to sample from this album was the live version, which I really liked. I'm not sure if it's going to sound a little bit different on this one, probably, but that's okay. It's kind of more of a rock album on that one. The Windows, Apples and Oranges. Really styling cover art here. This one's also looks like it's still mostly sealed, so hopefully really good condition disc on the inside. Try that one out. Okay, 3 more here. We've got a brand new album, 2024, Submarine by the Marias. The music from this album found its way into my listening last year, and No One Noticed is probably the one that I listened to the most. That's track number 11 on the Marias here. This one was probably like $12, maybe $14, $15 for this album. It is pretty new and it is sealed. Okay, I was really surprised to find Sleigh Bells, Texas. Really happy to pick this one up for the collection. Tons of great songs on here. I think True Seekers and An Acre Lost are probably my 2 picks from Texas, but the whole album's great. And Sleigh Bells as a band, as a sound, it's a lot of fun. If you haven't heard of them, give that a listen. And I will finish out the haul with Phoebe Bridgers' Punisher. Again, sealed album from 2020, so this one was a little more expensive. I think this one was about $15 for Punisher, but just album full of bangers on here. I Know the End is an absolutely amazing song, and I'd take time to listen to it about once a month if I can. So that is the closer on this album. Kyoto, very upbeat, very happy song, is track number 2. Chinese Satellite and Graceland 2 are other favorites on Punisher from me. But Phoebe Bridgers is hitting her stride with her music, and I hope she has a lot more that she wants to share with us. But that is what I picked up for this haul today, guys. If I remember correctly, it was 30 CDs. And I cannot wait to listen to them all. We'll see you later.